Most people walk past this plant every day. Or worse, they pull it out and throw it away without a second thought. At first glance, it doesn't look special. It grows quietly along fences, beside sidewalks, and in the corners of garden beds. It doesn't ask for attention. It doesn't come in a seed packet. But here is something worth noticing. This single plant grows on 6 continents. It contains far more magnesium than spinach. One plant can produce tens of thousands of seeds, and those seeds can remain alive in the soil for decades. Now here is where it becomes even more surprising. Ancient human remains from over 2,000 years ago have been found with this same plant still inside their stomachs. And yet today, many people call it a weed. At the same time, many households spend money each month on magnesium supplements, hoping to support their health. But what if something similar, or even better, was already growing just a few steps outside your door? And what if you have been removing it, again and again, without realizing what it is? There is no need to rush or feel concerned. This is something you can simply observe and learn at your own pace. Before explaining why this happened, it helps to understand how this plant has quietly remained part of daily life in other parts of the world. In many regions of northern India, families cook this plant almost every winter morning. The leaves are dark green, often with a soft, dusty coating. They are gently cooked into warm dishes, mixed into flatbreads, or added to simple meals. It is not spinach. It is not kale. It is known there as batwa. Across South Asia, millions of people continue to eat it regularly, just as their parents and grandparents did. In other places, it has different names. In parts of Europe, it has long been gathered from the wild. In Turkey, it is collected from open land and used in traditional cooking. In Mexico, cooks include similar plants in soups and familiar dishes. Different regions. Different traditions. Yet the same plant appears again and again. So it raises a gentle question. If so many people still use this plant, why has it become almost invisible in other parts of the world? The answer is not dramatic. It is simply gradual. Many plants we recognize today became popular because they were given one clear name, shared widely, and included in books and markets. This plant did not follow that path. Instead, it kept many names across many languages. Without one shared identity, it slowly faded from common awareness in some cultures. Not because it lacked value, but because it lacked consistency. Over time, fewer people talked about it. Fewer people wrote about it. And eventually, many people stopped recognizing it at all. But if we look back through history, we begin to see a very different picture. In the mid-1900s, workers in Denmark discovered something unusual while cutting peat from a bog. They uncovered a human body that was so well preserved, it seemed recent at first. But it was not recent. It belonged to a man who had lived more than 2,000 years ago. Scientists later studied his remains in detail, including what he had eaten before he died. Inside his stomach, they found traces of several plants. One of them appeared more often than the others. It was the same plant we are talking about now. This tells us something simple but meaningful. To him, this plant was not a weed. It was food. And this pattern does not appear only in one place. Across different parts of the world, separate cultures discovered and used this plant independently. In North America, early communities cultivated similar species thousands of years ago. In parts of Central and South America, related plants were grown and valued. Different people, separated by distance and time, reached a similar understanding. They saw that this plant was useful. They saw that it could support daily life. And they chose to include it in their food systems. Now let us take a moment to look at something more familiar. You may have heard of quinoa. It is often described as a healthy grain and is widely sold in stores. What is less commonly known is that quinoa belongs to the same plant family as the plant we are discussing. They are closely related. When researchers began comparing them, they noticed something interesting. This simple, overlooked plant showed strong nutritional qualities, sometimes comparable to or even higher than more widely known foods. It contains important minerals. It provides vitamins. And it does so without needing special care or conditions. In a small serving of its fresh leaves, the nutritional value can be quite high while the calorie content remains low. There is also another detail that quietly matters. Some leafy greens contain natural compounds that can limit how much of certain minerals the body absorbs. This plant appears to have a different balance, which may allow better availability of what it contains. This does not make it perfect or complete on its own, but it does make it a useful addition. So once again, we come back to a simple question. If this plant is so helpful, why is it often removed from gardens? The answer lies in how it grows. It grows easily. It spreads naturally. It produces many seeds. And those seeds can remain in the soil for many years, waiting for the right conditions. From a gardener's point of view, this can make it seem persistent or unwanted. From another point of view, it simply means the plant is resilient. It does not rely on being planted each season. It does not need special treatment. It returns on its own. In modern systems, many plants are grown in a controlled way. Seeds are purchased. Crops are planned. Growth is managed carefully. This plant does not follow those patterns. Because of that, it often gets grouped with weeds, even though it has its own value. Yet it never truly disappeared. It continued growing quietly in the background. You may find it near a wall, along a pathway, or in a small open space in your garden. It waits without drawing attention. And once you know what to look for, it becomes easier to notice. The plant is called lamb's quarters. Its scientific name is Chenopodium album. At first, it may look similar to other wild plants, but there are a few gentle clues. The young leaves often have a soft, powdery coating, almost as if a light dust has settled on them. The leaves are shaped like small diamonds or triangles. Their edges are slightly uneven. As the plant grows, small clusters of green flowers begin to form near the top. If you have seen it before, you may recognize it now. And if you have not, you may begin to notice it in places you had not looked closely before. The most surprising part is how simple it is to grow. In fact, there is very little to do. Instead of removing it, you simply allow it to remain. That is all. When the plant is young, the leaves are tender. At this stage, they can be gently harvested. New growth will continue to appear, allowing you to return and harvest again over time. The leaves can be used in many familiar ways. They can be added to salads in small amounts. They can be blended into drinks. Or they can be cooked, much like other leafy greens. Cooking softens the texture and brings out a mild flavor. As with many plants, it is best to introduce it gradually and see how it fits into your routine. At the end of the season, the plant produces seeds. These seeds can be collected and stored in a simple container. If kept in a cool and dry place, they can remain usable for many years. This quiet ability to renew itself is part of what makes the plant special. It does not require much effort. It does not demand attention. It simply continues. Many people who grew up in earlier generations understood this naturally. They observed what grew around them. They learned which plants could be used. And they kept simple habits that supported their needs. Sometimes, this knowledge was passed down in small ways. A jar of seeds kept on a shelf. A familiar plant left to grow in a corner of the yard. At the time, it may not have seemed important. But over the years, its value becomes clearer. It represents something steady. Something reliable. Something that does not depend on constant input. When we step back and look at the larger picture, we begin to see a pattern. This plant has been part of human life for a very long time. It has supported different cultures in different places. It has adapted to many environments. And even now, it continues to grow quietly, waiting to be noticed. If you happen to see it in your own garden, there is no need to rush or change everything at once. You can simply pause and observe. Notice its shape. Notice where it grows. Notice how it changes over time. If you choose to use it, you can start small. If you prefer to leave it, that is also fine. Gardening does not always require action. Sometimes it simply invites attention. If you feel comfortable sharing, I am curious whether you have seen this plant before in your garden, and what you usually do when it appears. As we continue to learn from nature, we often find that some of the most useful things are also the simplest. They do not call for effort. They do not ask for much. They simply exist, ready when we are. And sometimes, the garden improves not because we add more, but because we begin to notice what is already there. Sometimes the garden improves when we simply step back and observe.